In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I was riding a public transport van in Islamabad when a lady was about to about to enter the same van. Conductor asked this lady that where will you get alighted, where will you get dropped. She gets annoyed over this thing. He got annoyed over this thing and responded something angrily. Still didn't tell where will she depart and where will she alight. She was a working lady and was returning from her workplace. Fortunately, although these driver conductors of public transport they are not so polite, but fortunately both of them kept quiet. Still she didn't tell. She paid the rent and she paid the fare, sorry. And then she took out a copy of Quran from her bag, from her purse, started reading it. I got impressed. It was something rare and very pleasing to see. But what did happen that she missed her stop. Although she had paid the fare and would have told the conductor that where shall I get alighted? But somehow the conductor didn't tell that your stop has arrived and you are supposed to leave. She missed her stop and had to leave this van at the next stop. She was upset, somewhat unhappy, and she didn't protest. Maybe she realized that it was her own mistake. It was her own mistake. She didn't tell them exactly what her stop was. She was a very good lady. She was an educated lady and she was working somewhere and she was quite religious, using her time to read Quran. But her mindset was negative. Although, although, although the attitude of the people is quite irresponsible, whether they are the staff and employees of a public transport or working in any other department. Unfortunately, we the people of this society, we don't have much sense of responsibility. We do think and we do act like an irresponsible people. Unfortunately, it is a truth whether somebody denies it, whether somebody accepts it, but it is a bitter truth that we are not so responsible people. Our actions are not so responsible. Doesn't our actions does not reflect the sense of responsibility. On the one hand, we are not so educated, we are ignorant. On the other hand, we are irresponsible as a whole. There are people who are there are people who are scrupulous, there are people who are dutiful, there are people who are honest, there are people who are ethical. But the society as a whole, those people are an exception actually. The society as a whole is a somewhat irresponsible one towards other people. And there are certain other examples like this one as well. When a good person, an honest, ethical, and fair person develops a negative mindset, although the public as a whole is not positive, but still I think so. Despite the fact we do realize, still we should keep our mindset positive enough. We shouldn't become negative at all because if at all we do become negative, we will suffer and our loved ones will suffer as well. we will remain unhappy and we might get caught somewhere else. We might get entangled negatively with someone else. So that is the reason that we must not become a negative person. Despite all the difficulties, we need to exercise the patience. There are certain other examples as well. I, like every social media activist, I too have created a WhatsApp group, and there are good number of people sending good quality post in my WhatsApp group. I'm an ordinary participant in certain other groups as well. I included two people. The people who are sending the very good posts, I included them in my group. I should not have done it actually. I should have sent them the invitation. But I did include them only because their posts were very reformative. Their posts were quite beneficial. So I was actually providing them an opportunity that they could share their posts here at this forum as well, which is quite a good forum because the people here are quite educated. And I wanted to provide them an opportunity, but they left instantly without even seeing what kind of people are there in the group and what kind of posts are being shared in this group. And on the part of me, I was over enthusiastic. I should not have done it. On the part of them, their mindset was negative. That is why they left instantly. They should have seen the kind of group it is, the kind of people here in this group, and the kind of posts being shared here in this group. It was an opportunity for them actually, so that they could share the good posts at this place as well, which they didn't avail. Again, why? Because of a negative mindset actually. We sometime the people who are positive enough, the people who are actually religious enough, the people who are working for the reformation of the society, the people who are actually trying to educate the people, who are trying to reform the attitudes of the people, sometimes they become negative. They shouldn't become negative, although the society as a whole is not so pleasant at all. Despite all this, I think nobody should become negative, because once we develop a negative mindset, what does happen then? Actually, we do create difficulties for we ourselves, and we do create the difficulties for our loved ones as well. To be able to avoid all that, I think that although we need to become a realistic, we need to become excuse me for this noise. Although we need to become despite being a realistic person, somewhat realistic, not that much that we do become a negative people. We should become a practical person. Despite all this, we need to struggle, and we need to strive, for the sake of keeping our mindset positive enough. If at all our mindset is positive, I think that we can remain happy, or we can remain normal at least. you know we will not be facing, encountering the anxiety, and we will be able to work better. We will be able to work better in the society, either on the social media or otherwise practically in person. I think we need to keep our mindset positive. Despite all the difficulties, despite all the irresponsible attitude of the people, I think that we need to exercise the patience, and we need to develop a positive mindset. This positive mindset of ours actually will benefit us a lot, will benefit us a lot indeed. Otherwise, we will remain upset. Otherwise, we will remain anxious. With a negative mindset, we will remain upset. We will remain anxious. We will be facing anxiety. We should try to avoid it. Thank you, Jazakallah.